Did you know Spider-Man once quit after he was tossed into a rigged cosmic gauntlet that kept painfully killing and resurrecting him? After multiple gruesome deaths, and a vision that shows everyone he loves rotting under a plague, his despair ignites an unstoppable power even the gods end up fearing. By the end, he's alive, wiser, and sworn never again to abandon his responsibility. It starts as a pretty normal day for Spider-Man. He saves a window washer from falling to his death. He even managed to save most of the money Aunt May had given him in an envelope for her charity. But then Dr. Doom, the new Sorcerer Supreme, shows up.
Inefficient, unfocused, immature. You rarely garner Doom's attention, Spider-Man. But now that you have, disappointing is an understatement.
Not the worst thing I'll be called today, I'm sure. What do you want?
Dr. Doom explains that he has chosen Spider-Man for a great task, one in which the fate of the Earth is at stake. He calls it the Covenant. Spider-Man isn't interested in anything Doom has planned for him and tells him as much. He hurries home to Aunt May and his friends, but things go poorly. Part of his aunt's money for her charity is missing. His camera memory got burned in the day's fight, and the present he got his sorta kinda not quite girlfriend yet got broken during his friendly neighborhood saving people thing. Once again, Spider-Man manages to disappoint everyone Peter Parker cares about.
Everything's so important that nothing matters. Peter can't have a life if Spidey's stopping crimes. Who is Spider-Man if Peter gets any wins? Can you trust the news anymore when AI is available on phones? What's a covenant?
He soon finds out, as a demon from the Crimson Realm has arrived looking for Earth's champion. Champion or not, when New York is in danger, Spider-Man answers the call and proceeds to get his butt soundly kicked. When Doom reappears offering aid and instruction, an injured Spider-Man accepts his help. Doom explains that long ago, Dr. Strange created the Crimson Cask, a spell to protect the realm of Earth from forces unimaginable. But every spell has a cost, and every ally a price. The agreement was the god Cyttorak would protect the sacred spell, and thus the Earth. But in return, each crimson year, a champion of Earth must fight the 8 Scions, the children of Cyttorak. A loss against these gods would win them the Earth itself and break the oath made. So, Dr. Strange made certain that he would never fail these 8 challengers, and carried with him the reeds of Ragador, objects capable of granting rebirth to one who has died. Each year he fought, and each year he died against the Scions. Strange died over and over and over again, but never actually lost thanks to the reeds of rebirth. Thus, the Earth was safe. But Dr. Strange is not here this time, and Dr. Doom deems himself far too valuable to face the fight. And so, he chooses Spider-Man, granting him new armor and magical abilities to face the onslaught of young gods who are desperate to destroy him. Spider-Man fights the first demon, who plays with gravity like a child's toy, throwing the hero about like a rag doll. Spider-Man is quick and clever, and he found the Scion's weak point. Unfortunately, it involved sticking his own hand through a black hole, and thus, Spider-Man dies in the very first fight against the children of Cyttorak.
Cause of death? The scientific term is spaghettification, which kind of trivializes what may be one of the most rare and excruciating deaths in the universe. A body is stretched and compressed as it's pulled into the gravity well of a black hole.
Death has a face, an avatar, currently one, Phil Coulson, once an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's surprised and saddened to see Spider-Man, but even more so when a magical reed is exchanged for his life instead of his soul. Death knows now that this is only the first of many deaths and rebirths that the young hero will face in the oncoming days. And sometimes rebirth is even more painful than the death itself. Spider-Man comes alive again amidst the wreckage of the fight.
God, oh my God, help me, help.
His pained cries do not go completely unheard.
I've never been accused of having a good bedside manner.
Spider-Man looks up to see the astral form of Dr. Strange floating beside him.
Do people want the good news or the bad news first?
Dr. Strange, good. Please, good.
The sorcerer kneels beside him, face drawn with concern.
You're alive and in perfect health. Bad news is, you have to fight and defeat the rest of the Scions of Cyttorak, likely dying in the process, rebirthing 7 more times. If you don't, the Earth falls.
Dr. Strange promises to teach Spider-Man how to use magic to fight the remaining Scions. Doctor Strange has bit off more than he can chew. But despite putting on a carefree face in front of his friends, Spider-Man asks the one question that's been plaguing him.
Can you tell me how to win now?
Peter, there's no winning. Sidorak knew I was desperate to cast the casket, so he rigged the game in his favor. I rigged it back in mine. But I have never used less than 8 reeds.
How did you do this? Over and over again.
There are fates worse than death, Peter. Worse than deaths.
And death finds Spider-Man again soon after, as the next Scion appears to defeat him. Using both magic and science, Spider-Man defeats the creature at his own game. Technically, he won. He just couldn't do so without dying. Again. And on the same day of his rebirth, his third opponent appears. This Scion is Sirios, the inevitability of time. She drags Peter back to a very particular night of his past. Despite knowing he's doomed to lose this fight, despite knowing what would be must be, there are a few precious seconds before that gunshot, where Peter thinks he can save his uncle. But he can't. He can't now any more than he could every time he relived it in his head at night. The demon smiles at him playfully.
Do you get it now? We're gonna visit all the pain in your lifetime, and there's a lot. I've seen all of your life, everything there was and will be. You want to win this contest? Surprise me!
The physical sensation of being yanked through time by this creature is painful, but not as much as what she shows him. Uncle Ben, Gwen Stacy. The Scion ages through time as it passes, each regret, each death, each failure. Peter tries to stay focused, hit her when he can, trying to stop or distract her, any way he might be able to win. Despite the pains of his past, he focuses on the now, slows his thoughts, and finally lands a punch in the Scion's face. After all, she didn't say how he had to surprise her. Technically, he won, but the children of Sidorak do not handle defeat gracefully, and they know of Strange's reed trick. The Covenant is satisfied with his win, but that doesn't keep her from ripping him apart, a million pieces spread throughout time. Another reed spent, another rebirth. When Peter Parker gets home that night, his waiting aunt is just another disappointed face of the people he can't satisfy, the people he saves every day, dies for day after day, and no one knows it. No one, not even she, knows how truly tired and truly hurt he is. Angrily, he lashes out at her, who least deserves it. Full of regrets, Peter swings into the night, seeking Felicia out at her apartment. She knows what's going on with the Champion and Covenant stuff. She knows of his double lives. If anyone could share a comforting word, perhaps it's her. Felicia encourages him to embrace the small moments, find the bits of joy in life between attacks, and rely on those moments to give him purpose. She leaves him feeling a little more hopeful. If he tries, maybe he can apologize to everyone, catch a break, and maybe he can pretend that he doesn't feel them watching his every move.
I'm going to challenge him now, sister. I'm tired of waiting.
Calix, why rush? This is all stupid anyways.
Syra, daughter of Sidorak, is the more patient of her siblings. She is death and she is pain, and she is tired of these games she and her siblings play each year with Earth's pathetic champions. And to what end? To impress their ever unimpressed, unchangeable father? She craves an existence deeper than this, though she knows not where to find it.
Why are you so unenthusiastic about the most important battle of our lives? This is our chance for glory. Can you imagine what Father will say when we win?
You seem to be ignoring the fact that this new champion's already defeated 3 of our siblings. We're statistically more likely to lose.
Syra's patience and Felicia's encouragement have given Peter a much-needed break. He focuses on mending his relationships, doing the little things, and reminding himself to enjoy it, while he can. So when Calix greets him with his Crimson Hounds, Spider-Man is ready. In fact, this time, before Calix, Scion of Pain, can issue the official challenge, Spider-Man issues it first, and the demon unleashes his hounds upon the civilians of New York. Using the magic he studied under Doctor Strange, Spider-Man binds the beasts and sends them back where they came from with relative ease, leaving their handler to face him alone. While the Scion is in shock, Spider-Man gets the first punch in, and then the second, the third, the fourth. Turns out the Scion of Pain is better at taking it than giving it. It's almost pathetic. But the fear of dying and having to be reborn again drives Spider-Man to keep hitting, keep the Godling down, never let up. Still, Calyx refuses to give in, even while on his knees.
Enough. You cannot continue, Calyx. It is my turn.
Syra, who had been standing aside to watch all this time, steps in for her brother.
So that's it? I won?
Yes, you have clearly won. Congratulations.
I didn't die.
He can't believe the relief he feels. It fills him with courage and hope.
Okay, show me what you've got.
What I've got the inevitability of death.
Syra shows Spider-Man a crimson orb. This challenge is not a physical fight, she warns, but one of a different strength. The orb shows truth, and all he must do is hold it. Letting it go will give her the Earth. And suddenly there he is, not in the past this time, but the future. He witnesses the death of Aunt May, who dies alone after she gives up her bed for another plague victim. Next comes Mary Jane, then the others, Shay, Felicia, Norman, friends, one by one, and so many others. It isn't even people he knows anymore. It's just death. Hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. He watches them die one by one. Some comfortable at home with their family, others in lonely streets, forgotten. It doesn't matter because in the end, it's always death. And finally, he understands Syra's point of view. Everyone dies. Everyone is forgotten. Every legacy ends. Every great work is lost. You came from nothing. You return to nothing. Life is nothing. Everyone is dead the instant they are born. But even then, Spider-Man doesn't let the orb fall. In fact, he dies still holding it as Calyx decides to strike again even though he's already lost. He kills Spider-Man while he's distracted and weak.
How many did you get through?
Doctor Strange asks upon Peter's rebirth. They're back at Peter's home, but it doesn't feel the same anymore.
I need you to redouble your efforts, Peter. The trials ahead require skill and imagination and...
Why?
I don't understand the question.
Why do we do it, any of it? It doesn't...
Peter, what you saw, what you felt, I know it's a lot.
A lot.
But you know that people die. You're not naive. It's what we are.
Exactly. And what we are is meaningless.
Peter, I'm sorry you were pulled into this. I'm sorry it hurts.
I'm sorry too, Doc. I quit.
You can't quit. The Covenant must be upheld or the world falls.
Let it fall. I don't care.
Everywhere Peter goes, everyone he sees their death. Perfect strangers on the street, he knows how their life will end. He knows how pointless it all really is. He cares little for anything now, except perhaps finding something to eat while watching the short-lived world and all its pointless people pass him by. From a careful distance, a surprising pair watches him, Doctor Strange and Syra herself. She's intrigued by Spider-Man.
What is this? What is he doing?
He quit, which isn't normal for him. But I could ask the same of you. Your challenge is supposed to be over.
Ah, yes, my grand challenge. I don't care about that. Why do I care about him?
She is confused by Peter's sadness, but also his will. She watches his face sadden when the window washer he saved days ago turns up dead anyways, leaving a wife and kids behind. She watches him try to talk down a gunman at a store, despite claiming he's given up. She watches him try to seek help from his loved ones and comfort from a past lover. He is terrified of the world and its pointlessness, but still, he seeks connection despite the fact that in the end, these connections will only wither, die, and bring with it unbearable pain. After witnessing 3 million deaths, 3 million examples of the pointlessness of life, and despite what he says about giving up, deep down, this human Spider-Man still wants desperately to believe. Meanwhile, on the outskirts of the Crimson Court, Calyx walks to the edge of the protective casket. No child of Cyttorak has crossed beyond the border into the danger Doctor Strange saw so long ago. Even Cyttorak does not speak of it. But his miserable defeat drives Calyx into the unknown in search of power. Down on Earth, the next Scion has arrived. But who will come when Spider-Man has lost all hope? The X-Men. Cyclops leads the team of fighters against the Scion. They're flawless in their teamwork and their trust in one another. But Juggernaut does the most damage. Filled with the power of Cyttorak, much like the Scions themselves, he is well matched to the young gods, and proves as much today. Those dwelling in the Crimson Realm watch the fight below, unsure of the future. If the chosen champion doesn't show up, then surely the Earth is forfeit. But still, Cyttorak waits, immovable. Down on Earth, Dr. Strange enters Felicia's apartment, where Peter Parker has decided he won't bother leaving from at the moment.
Peter, we need to talk.
Why? Aren't you tired of telling me the same thing over and over?
I should not be here, as there are other world-ending problems I need to attend to. But I have to tell you about the Blight. Now.
Pass. Unsubscribe.
Whether you like it or not, you will hear what I have to say about the Blight. There's no more time to coddle you.
After leaving the protection of the casket around the Crimson World, Calix, son of Cyttorak, has found a power beyond understanding. He is plagued with a fear, a soul-altering ailment he cannot cure. The Blight overtakes him. Eternal as the gods themselves, the Blight breeds the soul rot. Those infected seek to destroy the people they love most. And so, the Scion on Earth is not defeated by Juggernaut and the X-Men, but by his own brother Calix, who brings this terrible curse to the Earth. Peter knows that Syra has been watching him, but what she does now shocks him, for she cries at the death of one brother and the agony of the other. She grabs Spider-Man. As much as he's given up, she will make him see this. And what she shows him is real. It's now, and it's terrible. His aunt, his friends, all dead by the Blight, laying on the ground in death waiting over them to take them away.
This isn't how it's supposed to be. I saw their deaths, felt them. This wasn't it.
What I showed you was but a possibility. Things changed.
What changed?
You refused the call of Cyttorak and rejected your responsibility as champion.
So this is my fault.
Suddenly everything matters again. Because it is his fault, his responsibility, and his loved ones. And he can save them. So he gives the remaining reeds to the Avatar of Death in payment for their lives.
Champion, without the reeds, if you die again, when you die again, it will be permanent.
That's a chance I'm willing to take. Do it, Coulson.
With his family alive and safe again, Spider-Man joins the X-Men. They force Calix and his hounds into a corner, forcing him to retreat, but not without leaving the plague of the soul rot behind him. Every other X-Men turns against Juggernaut, determined to destroy him. The soul rot has infected many more throughout the city thanks to Calix's dogs. Spouses turn against each other, parents against children, and friend against friend. Everyone is fighting. Syra takes Spider-Man with her to the Crimson Realm. Their only hope of ending any of this lies at the source. They have to stop Calix before it's too late. But it is too late. Because when she arrives home, the bodies of all her other siblings lay scattered before the Crimson Throne. Furious while her father sits and does nothing, Syra seeks Calix herself. Meanwhile, Spider-Man tries to rouse Cyttorak, who looks upon his realm emotionless and cold. Above him, the sky trembles as the physical being of the Blight begins to fall upon them and claim this realm as well as Earth. While Spider-Man is struck with the fear of it all, Calix sneaks behind him and breaks his neck. With no reeds left to save him, this is the last and final death of Spider-Man. Calix moves on, leaving his last sibling to make a choice. Join him in the Blight, or die. He'd take out his own father first, steal the throne that he's always wanted. He's done proving himself in stupid games. Calix attacks Cyttorak full force, and still the god doesn't move, but stares at the dead before him. Syra realizes that her own father is immobile, not in some twisted justice or coldness on his part, but in misery and grief. He mourns the loss of his children just as Spider-Man mourned the losses he saw through her orb. That was what the dead left behind. Not their works, but this feeling of emptiness, of something, no matter how small, missing forever. A feeling even her father felt for his children. Because no matter how pointless life was, how meaningless a single person might be, one could not feel the sadness of loss if there had not been love first.
I would strike a bargain.
Syra grabs Death's avatar by the shoulders in desperation.
Death can't bargain.
But it can be staved off with reeds, with magic, with a trade. The power and immortality of a scion of Cyttorak to restore one indomitable human spirit.
And so Death rewrites life itself. Name, Peter Benjamin Parker. Cause of life? The willing transfer of crimson essence from Syra, offspring of the god Sitarak, to subject's mortal form. Immortality traded for the remaining days of one mortal life.
Syra, what happened? What did you do?
I learned to care. Because of you.
I don't know what to say. Thank you doesn't seem big enough.
It isn't, so don't say anything. Instead, simply become. Become a weapon and shed the role of a pawn. Become strength incarnate. Become unstoppable. Become a juggernaut.
With new armor and new powers, never has Peter Parker felt so powerful. For a moment he feels unstable, but he's cautious. Because he knows himself now more than ever, how stoppable he really is. The pain of loss stopped him. The feeling that life is meaningless stopped him. Fear had stopped him. He'd given up, but never again. While Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom heal those affected by the soul rot, Spider-Man knows he has a much bigger foe to fight. Driving Calyx back to Earth, he leaves him among the recovered X-Men. And the new Spider-Naut goes for the Blight itself. He knows it will likely kill him, but that didn't matter because life does matter. In the Crimson Realm, Syra still fights for Spider-Man as she faces her father.
I have traded my immortality, my share of your crimson magics to spare the life of the mortal champion so that he can save the Earth realm, including you.
Why am I immobilized, indecisive, confused?
I have been asking myself that very question since I met this curious human. The unthinkable has happened. You have lost 6 of your children. Their immortality, their essence stripped away by the Blight in the form of Calyx. Humans call it grief.
Nothing can hurt Sitarak.
No, the great Sitarak did nothing as his son killed his siblings and attacked his father. You are broken.
Make it stop.
I cannot. This pain is inevitable, but maybe there is one who can help, if it is not too late.
Out in the universe, Spider-Man binds the Blight to himself. He doesn't have the time or power to create a casket for it or think of some spell. But with Syra's powers and the little he knows of magic, he can hold it to himself, a casket in his own right, for as long as he was alive to do so.
Failure is inevitable.
Sitarak has moved from his throne. He stands before Spider-Man as he holds back the Blight.
The Blight will prevail. Why do you fight? Why? When life is so fragile.
Despite the magical craziness of the last few days, this is the only life I have. Most of the time it's hard. It's not fair. Sometimes it flat out sucks. But it's my life. There's not another one like it anywhere. It's beautiful exactly because it is so fragile. Every life is like that. Even if in 1,000 years my life and anything I ever did won't matter, it matters today. Today is worth fighting for. With a view to the horizon of infinity, I don't expect you to understand Sitarak, and I don't care. I'm alive. I'm fighting, just like everyone.
Sitarak shoves Spider-Man out of the Blight and takes the casket spell himself. The Crimson God says,
I hurt and I see no end to that pain. But if you can act in the face of loss, of your insignificance and fragility, so can Sitarak. I will become the crimson casket that shields this world, this dimension, from the horror of the Blight. I will protect my remaining children, flawed as they are, and this world. This is the new covenant.
Back at home, Spider-Man vows never to do magic again. He makes things right with his family, with his friends, and most importantly, he lives his life.